All right, earlier today, we had a chance to talk to the Director of Research at the Government Accountability Institute, better known as our good friend and the great investigative reporter, Seamus Bruner, about the scoop we talked about. Have a listen. All right, folks, joining us right now, the Director of Research at the Government Accountability Institute and the best-selling author alongside of me on multiple books, one of them mine, Fallout. He helped co-write that with me, but he's also got that great book, Controligarchs. He's a great friend of the show, one of the greatest investigative journalists I've ever worked with, our friend, Seamus Bruner. Seamus, welcome back.
John, Amanda, it is great to see you. And on the point about Fallout, its sales must still be going. I bought, personally, the last hard copy yesterday. I ran out of my own supply, and now it's
time for
it's gone. That's tragic. We're going to have to do something about that.
I'm feeling like it might be time to do Fallout 2 because it's still relevant today. I mean, think about what we're learning in these new documents today. Joe Biden is out there publicly saying we must punish Russia for the invasion of Ukraine. His son's already cashing in on the scenario by going to work for Burisma. And then we find out Joe Biden secretly is creating a backdoor so that Russia can send its gas into Ukraine because Burisma can't meet the demand, and his word they're going to get blamed for inflation. It seems like there's a lot of secrets still coming out from Fallout 10 years later.
Yeah, you're exactly right. These documents that you posted on Just the News, these are amazing. It shows that Joe Biden, we always wondered, I mean, what was Hunter getting paid for by Burisma? Was it just because of the that quid pro quo towards the end with the you're not getting the $1 billion unless you fire the prosecutor? Was it just to get Zlochevsky out of legal hot water? And no, this shows that it was actually to learn a lot of intelligence about what was going on in people like Joe Biden's minds. He's saying one thing publicly, and then behind the scenes, he's talking about things that might help Russia. So these are really shocking documents, and it's not the only example, but it is certainly the most egregious example of the Democrats cashing in on the Russia-Ukraine scenario.
Yeah. Speaking of Democrats cashing in, a few weeks ago, everybody had a lot of bad things to say about Signal, but I think Joe Biden's probably wishing he had used Signal at about this time because they called that a national security crisis. Wouldn't this be a national security issue, too?
Yeah, I mean, it's really odd that Joe Biden had these pseudonyms and he was sending government discussion type stuff on these pseudonyms. He had the secret cell phone and, was talking offline in ways that could easily be hacked, bypassing the national security protocols. So, yeah, you're exactly right, Amanda. And of course, Hillary famously had the secret server. So it looks like these guys really do like to just talk in unsecure ways about very important matters.
Yeah, pretty remarkable. One of the great things that we were able to do together in Fallout was to track the 8-year history of the Obama-Biden administration on Russia, because they came in saying, we're not going to be as hardline on Russia, because I think we can win their hearts by bestowing them a lot of appeasement and gifts, and so they give away uranium and other things to them. And then, of course, they get crossways, and Russia takes advantage of them and invades Ukraine. How much do you think Americans still don't know about this time? It seems like we're still blind to a lot of very important pieces of information when it comes to what the Obama administration, particularly Joe Biden and his family, were doing on the Russian front.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a whole lot we don't know. I mean, we've got the broad outlines. We've got maybe 50% of the puzzle made, but there's still a lot of pieces that need fitting in. And so, again, I applaud you for this story that you and Stephen did today. It's a great story, and look forward to hearing more. These documents need to come out. Donald Trump needs to keep declassifying and releasing this stuff.
Yeah, keep them coming. That's right.
Seamus, people love to talk about how Barack Obama didn't have a single scandal during this administration. I know this is Joe Biden as vice president, and I suppose there's a possibility that Barack Obama as president didn't know. But considering that there was a relationship being brokered by even a third country, Germany, wouldn't you think that Obama would have had to have been looped in on all of this and possibly known about the communications too?
Yeah, absolutely. They say scandal-free. The Obama presidency was a scandal spree, and it wasn't just Joe. It was Barack Obama. And I think one of the things that really, is waiting to come out, I've got a lot of research on it, haven't published it yet, is about the Obama book deal. The Obama book deal, $60 million from a German publisher. What was that all about? And we've got some evidence and some theories we'll release soon.
That's huge. That is huge. All right, another thing we've gotten a hold of in the last few days, also Russia-related, are some of the newly declassified documents from the Russia collusion, i.e. Crossfire Hurricane investigation. One of the big headlines we had this week, and everyone's been talking about, the NSA director, by the way, someone that Donald Trump inherited from Barack Obama, told the FBI that the Washington Post story, a Pulitzer Prize winning story, that Donald Trump had pressured him to change the story on Russia collusion and Russia involvement in the 2016 election, was simply, in his words, wrong, not true, inaccurate. He went through debunking it line by line, and then also the FBI document reveals there was a contemporaneous record of this discussion that showed that nothing about the Washington Post claimed to happen actually happened in the discussion. Is it time for the Washington Post to renounce its Pulitzer Prize, to correct its Pulitzer Prize story? What do you think would come of this?
I mean, totally should give it back, and it's just such a shame what's happened to the Pulitzer Committee. It used to mean something to win a Pulitzer, and ever since 2016, I've watched year after year they give Pulitzers to total disinformation. I remember the New York Times also got a Pulitzer for its Russia reporting, which was totally wrong. And so, you're going to hate that I say this, John, but you and Peter Schweizer should have won Pulitzers for the reporting you did on Hillary Clinton and the Russia uranium and everything that you exposed first on the Spygate saga. It was incredible reporting, and people are finally starting to realize John Solomon was right.
Absolutely, on many fronts. Seamus, I know that government accountability, I mean, it's in the name of your institute, but transparency and disclosure is at the heart of everything that you stand for and seek. When it comes to what Trump can declassify this time around, it's a second term. He doesn't have to worry about making anybody mad so that he has to face re-election. As a journalist or as an investigator yourself, what do you want to see declassified? What's the top of the top for you?
Well, I was really excited when John sent me this story that he broke about the Robin Ware and all of the pseudonymous Biden email messages. Those are going to be great. Everything relating to the Biden-Ukraine, it'll be great to see what was going on with the Biden-China stuff. And, I hate to dredge up ancient history, but, and again, this Russiagate stuff, Hillary Clinton, she just needs to be fully exposed. I mean, John and we put out so much on the Russia Uranium One story. That really was a scandal for the pay to play. I'd love to see, I don't think they'll release CFIUS deliberations, but anything else relating to that, whether or not Hillary played any role, because she said she had no role, but it was her department and her foundation donors who stood to gain. So that's always been a white whale, is what exactly went on? How did they get this Russian uranium deal through? And then as far as the Spygate stuff, we know a lot about that, but there's more names involved. I know that, and they need to not only be declassified, but also have security clearances yanked.
Yeah, so important. Uranium One, we still believe there was a government agency that might have objected to that deal going through, which would debunk the entire narrative. We still don't have those documents. That'd be a good place for President Trump to start, I would guess. What do you think, Seamus?
Yeah, that's right. And there were a lot of other Russian scandals, too. The whole spy ring. I mean, you remember the spy ring? We talked about that. The whole Skolkovo deal. Joe Biden flew to Moscow and pimped this Silicon Valley of Moscow deal. Why were they giving so many favors to Russia, only to turn around and then, help with the overthrow of Ukraine and the installation of new leadership there? The whole Russia-Ukraine thing, I think we're just the tip of the iceberg, really.
Yeah.
Seamus, before we let you go, when it comes to security clearances, I think most people think that this is something that is coveted and exclusive, and so few have it in Washington, which I think is frankly how it should be. But that's not the case. You have people in law firms staffed all across this city and even outside the Beltway who have these security clearances. President Trump yanking them seems like one by one. Good idea?
Yeah, absolutely. And it is, it's not a select group. John, correct me if I'm wrong. I think there's millions of people who have security clearance, or at least millions that have had them at one time, who are still around. It's a ton of contractors and not government employees. But then the government employees, I mean, you don't need to yank everybody's. I mean, there's people working on sensitive stuff that need those clearances. It's these political operatives and these people who go to CNN to get a TV deal or MSNBC to get a TV deal, and somehow they still have their clearances, or they go work through the revolving door at the contractors, selling access to vital national security information. They need to have their, at a minimum, reviewed. I don't know about just flat out revoking everybody's, but it needs to be reviewed, and it needs to be a pretty regular thing to review these clearances.
Yeah, pretty amazing. You always give us a ton of wisdom and great reporting. Today, you might have given us a great hashtag there, Seamus, because I think hashtag WAPO, give it back, might be actually something that could start trending on Twitter tonight. We'll see whether that goes there. I should say X, excuse me. As always, my friend, you do great work at the Government Accountability Institute with our good friend Peter Schweizer. Thanks for joining us today.